You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Canes over here. Get some canes over here. We got some canes over here. There's some canes over
Relax
here.
and take notes while I step in, ain't no question. I've been reppin', see my squad ballin', that's a blessing. I'm texting with my homies from that West End Zone crew. Say they taking shots, told me roll through. I told you about that orange and green. We click tight, big bites, we destroy your team. Make the world view our games like a horror scene. Stuff opponents in a can like Goya beans. I mean, representing for the team, let us hit it out. You can't get connected with us, check your signal. Infamous with that swag, it's original. The copycats can copy that, but we go get some more. No gate, no Seminole. We let it stay, but in this state we is the general. Coral Gables around the world, we don't have a limit. We rep that you from the streets to the academics. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up, how we do our thing over here.
Well, hello there. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I am Jordan Page, South Coast Kane, and this is the Georgia Tech pregame show. I tell you what, these early games, Miss LMV, I saw you the other day on Coach Hayes' Florida State tailgate walkthrough show. I saw you. You can run, but you can't hide. No, I'm just joking. Oh, yeah, these early games are killing me. This is 2 weeks in a row. You know, but hey, it's cool. It is what it is. But I want to say hello and thank everybody for showing up. Studio One Live. Hey, Rue, good to see you, brother. Shards came in a little early. Jay Actor was like a day early or something, but he was here. Anyway, so hopefully everybody has had a very good week. It's been a long week with all the brouhaha earlier in the week, as you know. I'm glad all that crap's over with. I was watching the Utah last night. They were doing their Utah Bash 2, and real good stuff. Got to see people. I wasn't there. I was sitting on my couch watching it, you know. But unfortunately, I guess with the early game today, their party was cut a little short. I don't know. But of course, you never know what happens off camera. But anyway. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this link put in the chat so everybody and anybody, who would like to join in can join in. And I tell you what, I don't know if y'all, I think Studio uses StreamYard, but I'm telling you, StreamYard has increased their prices. I mean, I'm good. I'm locked in through next year sometime. But I tell you what, they raised their price. I got to find me something else to do because I ain't going to be paying all that money. That's stupid. But again, it is what it is. You know, they call that first world problems, you know, where, you know, you got to decide what kind of streaming service you use and whatnot. But anyway, so let's get to it. Let's stop all the BS. Let's get down to it. So, Miami, Georgia Tech. Again, I'm not gonna get into the wherefores and with art thous in regards to the past. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Oh, my bad. Let me mute that. Okay. What's up? Good morning.
Oh man, look, I'm just trying to get accustomed to this old Big East early game days, you know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah, you gotta get up at 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock game for us down here, but I mean it doesn't really. I mean it's better than playing at 10:30 Eastern, but I've always been.
The CEO got a game time at 11 a.m. today.
No sir, that's going to be the late game tonight. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Who played earlier? Georgia There's somebody that playing Texas at 12 noon.
Florida? Is it Florida?
Somebody.
Let's see here.
Maybe I'm off of it.
Since you brought it up, it's got my curiosity out. Okay, so you got Ohio State and Purdue is playing at 11, Texas and Florida at 11. Syracuse and Boston College are playing early. Boom.
Okay, I guess. Florida played Texas.
Right.
In Texas at 11. That's what I was looking at.
Georgia Ole Miss plays the middle game, but that's neither here nor there.
You heard from Cuban, man? I ain't heard from Cuban in about a week and a half.
I haven't. Honestly, I have not
matter of
heard.
fact, ever since the game was over and we had the post game, he disappeared. You missed him.
Well, I hope. Really? Dogs are upset because of Cuban. But anyway, I don't know, dude. Seriously, I have no idea. I hope everything's well.
Yeah, me too, man. About seeing the Cuban. See, he's one of my Cane's patients. He's out on the loose. Y'all be out on the lookout. He has expector loss caneitis.
Oh, here we go.
So y'all just do not approach him. Just call South Cocaine. Hey,
man, you being messy, dude. We're not even 10 minutes in and you're being messy.
Nah, anyway. But for real though, his phone going to voicemail, straight to voicemail. And usually, in our culture, when your phone going straight to voicemail like that for a couple of days, that usually means jail. I hope. Let me knock on wood.
It could be either he don't want to talk to you, he in jail, his phone messed up. There ain't no telling what it is. But so let's talk about this Georgia Tech game. To me, it's real simple. It's real simple for Miami to be successful. I mean, I feel Miami's going to win. Okay. The defense just needs to, the defense has got to stop playing cute. And what I mean by that is I've kind of noticed, and Tolbert Bain was talking about this last night on over there on Utah, but I agree with him. During that Florida game that we always reference back to in regards to the defense and the way they played, it's like, the first 3 games or so, the defense was getting out there. It was simple, run that 4-3, pin your ears back and go get them. Very simple football. But it's like, for some reason, the last, 5-6 games or whatever, they started to try to be, the stunts and twists and this and that. Hell, you got Ruben Bain, probably the best pass rusher in the nation. One of them, at least top 5. And he really has been non-existent. I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, let the defensive tackles just go straight in, just pin the ears back, go get them. Let the defensive ends play good, sound, discipline, defensive end ball, stay at home, don't over pursue, be the protection on the side, go get them. Linebackers, keep an eye on things, and it's just, I just feel like that they're overcomplicating the defensive scheme, dude. And when you look at it, it's almost like they're all out of position. It's like they'll do their little fancy defensive whatever, and the middle's wide open. Or they'll all go to the left or all go to the right. It is, I don't know. All I know is the defense has got to be on their game today against Georgia Tech because it's Georgia Tech. Now, one interesting scenario with the defenses. Of course, Miami has the number 1 ranked defense in the ACC. They're averaging about 300, giving up about 310 yards a game. This is the whole body of work. And then Georgia Tech's defense is number 2 in the ACC, giving up an average of about 323 yards a game. I mean, you're talking about 13 more yards. So that's pretty interesting. You got the top 2 defenses in the ACC going to come out and play each other. Now, as far as offensively, you know, Miami's going to be okay offensively. All right. I got Miami scoring at least 45 points today. We know that. It's going to happen. So yeah, see, Miami has the number 1 ranked offense in the ACC. Surprise, surprise, at about an average of 556-ish yards. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, they come in at number 8 in the ACC on total offense per game at about 423. Their breakdowns about 246 passing, 177 rushing. You know, they got the 12th ranked passing offense and number 6 ranked rushing offense. So, you know, it is what it is. I thought those are pretty interesting numbers. Yeah, I mean, if the defense just comes out, takes care of business, I think it'll be fine. And I just don't think the Georgia Tech defense is going to really be able to stop the Miami offense. What you think?
No, sirree. John Papadur won't be able to stop it at all, buddy. What I will say is, I know y'all not on board, but we're spotting points, and it's obvious to me. Looking at the Duke film, when we was up 14-0, all of a sudden our defense go to this little certain set where we're leaving 3-on-1 out there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I was like, either our defensive coordinator is incompetent or he's trying to do it. And you constantly leaving a defense where it's only 4 wide, right? But you got your linebacker out there like he's a boundary cornerback without no adjustment, without no switch, without no safety. Say, all right, you blitz, none of that, because it's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope, I'm getting tired, like Hollywood. You know how Hollywood, you're an actor, you get,
right.
You're a good comic, you're good, a bad guy, you get stuck in that role. Can't
right.
find another job. I just hope they don't stick us in that role. They love to see us come back. You hear the nation, the media, oh man, it's so fun to watch how they came back. Don't stick us in this. Don't keep doing this all year.
Right. And when I bring up, I was, all right, shake it out, girl. I've been trying to kind of take a step back and kind of see if maybe I see something. I mean, maybe they're just trying to get too fancy and get too complicated with the defense instead of just keeping it simple.
That's
what I mean?
Exactly what they're doing.
It's like they come out, they play a basic, good defense, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to get fancy and cute when in fact, just keep it simple. Now I would love to see some young guys get in there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and I do have the depth chart that we'll get into.
Yeah.
Of course, we know how that's been going. I see where Frederic has got the start at corner. I'd love to see a little Zaquan in there also.
No Robbie Washington sighting. Never mind. We'll see it when you pull it up.
Yeah, I don't remember, but also, Booker, Mr. Pickett, he did really well. He did pretty good at the end of that Duke game last week too. But
Who?
I mean, who? Booker Pickett. Booker Pickett. He's
Who is
a
that?
freshman. He's a defensive lineman.
For us?
Yeah.
Dang. I thought I knew everybody.
But
I did see 93 Campbell get in there.
yeah, they did get a lot. Yeah.
Big old beast there.
But my thing is, you sitting there with Bain, again, one of the best rushers in the country, and I think they're just getting so cute that they're not really utilizing the strengths like they did against Florida. You know, even Barrett.
Don't you think we should just run a 4-3 and just
that's my sentiment. Just my sentiment exactly. Run that 4-3. Like I said earlier, run the 4-3. Let the tackles, the defensive tackles, go get them. Defensive ends play good, sound, discipline defensive end ball where you either stay home, protect, or go get them. In other words, don't let if you're on the like bank, go get them. But if you see the running back coming around your side or the tight end, kind of whatever, just good, simple, disciplined football that these young men have played for a while. But, all this stunting and having defensive ends go out and pass protection and, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Just keep it simple. So talking about Georgia Tech's stats here right quick. So their leading rusher is Mr. Haynes, Jamal Haynes. He's got about 643 yards. He's averaging about almost 5 yards a carry. I mean, Haynes King, the quarterback. Okay, I think he's supposed to be back, I believe. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Alexander, 5'4", carry, 5'5". I don't know who this Singleton is, but when he's running it, it's 8. I mean, these are pretty gaudy numbers. I mean, if they allow Haynes to average 5 yards a carry, that's just not going to be successful. And then of course, passing Haynes King, he's only thrown 1 interception so far with only 8 touchdowns. Nothing really fancy, just solid quarterback play. Plus he can run, and we know how that is with our defense. So, I mean, nothing really, like I said, I mean, they're averaging about 246 yards a game passing offensively and 177 yards rushing offensively. So it's nothing really flashy. They're just a typical Georgia Tech team.
Agreed.
Hey, we got another
You know what
person.
else I say?
What's up?
This game shouldn't be a sell ticket game, Heisman campaign game per se. We should have no reason to be letting these boys in it. It's not, it's a noon game. The only campaigning we should do is just destruction. If we don't do that, I'll get more closer to y'all side of the fence. Feeling like, man, we might not be able to win no championship we keep. But we ain't got killer instinct. We got to have that killer instinct still.
What you got, Anthony?
Yeah, no, I have a legitimate worry because with Morrow specifically, his track record shows that sometimes he can get outcoached by a coach like a Brent Key, who seems to be a better game manager, and that's what I'm going to be worried about a little bit with Mario, that we're not going to lose, but you're going to see throughout the game that Brent Key is going to out-strategy him throughout the game, or we get shut down. That's what scares me, that we're not going to score as many points as we think, because Brent Key knows how to strategize throughout the game.
I mean, I won't argue that point. I won't disagree with it. I mean, that's always an option when it comes to Miami's coaching staff. But I hope not. Hopefully.
No, I'm saying we're still winning the game. But it's getting closer than.
Right. I'm just saying. I hope that they're not out schemed. You know what I mean? I don't look. I'm just, except for the Florida State. I mean, the Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville, and Duke. These are teams that Miami should have dominated. There's no way they should have gave up the 38 to Virginia Tech, the 38 to Cal, the 45 to Louisville, 31 to Duke. I mean, come on. Shouldn't have gave that much up. But I mean, it is what it is. It was what it was. Oh, there's nothing we can do about it.
Do you guys feel that the defense is like gaining steam a little bit? Like we're already past the midway of the season. Do you think that maybe they're gonna start gaining steam as the season goes on, going into the ACC championship?
Well, I was talking a second ago, and I think Anthony, you was at the you were watching the bash last night, and it's what Tolbert said. It's just keep it simple. Just stop trying to be
simple,
cute.
Stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Exactly, the kiss, and that's just it. I was talking earlier.
That's what I like Guidry, but he seems to outthink himself sometimes. Do you see that, Studio?
Yeah, making it more difficult
complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
I do think we'll gain steam because, like I said, Bain ain't play half the year, so he's fully rested. Also,
and Tyler Barron, honestly, I don't blame him for being tired because let's not forget, since the beginning of the season, he has been the only one on defense that's really been giving us the most consistent pass rush and stuff like that.
But I would say you could see that the defense is gaining steam is correlated with us running the ball more.
Right.
We start running the ball, having long drives. It gives our defense rest, keeps them off the field. Don't have to pay as many plays. So they know.
Is there something like for today, for the offense specifically, besides focusing more on the running game, is there something you guys want to see more out of the passing game? That you want to focus more on?
Yes.
Go ahead, Hayru. Give us your thoughts.
I want to see Cam Ward dink and dunk more. I want to see him take the first option more. Dump it off the running back immediately more. I want to see on one drive dump the ball off like 3 or 4 straight times because it's wide open every time. Every time we drop off of a pack, when the running back flare out, they open right away. But he never throws it to him unless he's in trouble and he's the last option. I want them to be the first option for a series.
Okay. Oh, I agree.
I got one for me. We're seeing it sporadically throughout the season, but this game, I understand we have great receivers, but I want to start focusing more on the tight ends, having more seam routes down the middle because the teams that we've faced, we've never taken advantage of how weak their linebacker core is. Have you noticed that?
Oh. Well, yeah. Go ahead, Studio.
I heard Cam, and I clipped him saying this in the little presser. He was like, I wish we can run those plays we've been running for 4 weeks, but I guess we'll get to them. I said, yeah, they got a whole package. They waiting on this playoff. They already know they're going. Yeah, they can talk all that game by game. They knew they can get to the playoffs with this schedule. So how much were they going to say?
That's what I'm going to ask you next. Hey, Rude, do you think maybe if we end up getting a bye week and
which is next week?
No, I'm talking about if we end up winning the ACC championship.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Finish.
If we win the ACC championship and we end up getting the bye week at like number 3 or 4 or something like that, do you think that's when, or if we win our game and we face like a Georgia or something like that, we beat a Texas, do you think that's when we see the plays that Cam Ward, like, so that the teams that we face in the playoff don't have enough tape on that portion of our playbook?
I agree. Yes. I believe they dialed down the tight end play, They want to see it at first. They're like, okay, we good. We could catch it. Riley, what his name? He
Riley Williams.
We know what Arroyo is. We really don't want to overuse him because we don't want to get injured, especially seeing that we really do got a good team. When they ain't really know until they got out to play Florida. Let's see. We look good. Let's see. And they was impressed. They were like, oh shoot, we got a team for real.
Now
let's start managing it properly.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as far as offensively goes, yeah. I know Cam he's trying to do the best. He's doing what he think is right. He's trying to be successful, but yeah, we don't have to get 40 yards at a time. I think if they try to incorporate a little bit of the running back, maybe on a little wheel route, a little something out the backfield, of course, tight ends across the middle, tight ends out in the flats, just something to where if you only get 5 yards, take the 5 yards, and the wide receiver screen, I think it's time to just kind of ease off on that a little bit, Now I do like when they put like the four receivers on one side in a group, the little huddle, the stacks. That's pretty cool. I like that. But again, I would rather them, I think, like I say, use a little dink and dunk, hit the 5 yard, hit the 8 yard, hit the 7 yard, something to keep that defense from just concentrating on Restrepo and George and all that.
Yeah, and for me, this is what I noticed with the passing game specifically. We're so overusing. We haven't been we don't utilize the short passing game a ton. The intermediate is sporadic. The one that we focus so much on is the deep routes, like deep post routes, deep seam routes. We don't see a lot of intermediate between 35 to.
I will say we worked on that last week more because you seen those 7 yard slants straight to Zay, that's what I want to see when you say, all right, and if you can't stop them, but boom, 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 3
more
straight
yak.
slants.
I want to see more yak catches instead of the deep routes that limit the amount of yak.
And then plus, if you do the little short passes, the 5 to 10 yard passes, get the ball out of Cam's hands fast as possible. Don't put Cam in that position where he's
holding the ball too much.
Exactly, to where he's trying to run around and do his thing. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Do we not trust that? That's a question that I'm gonna ask you guys. Does Mario not fully, because have been switching throughout the year with our offensive line? We don't have a consistency with our starters. Maybe Mario doesn't trust to do the dink and dunks where you hold the ball way too long.
I think if I think the offensive line, and I really don't want to get into the dysfunctionality of it, but if the offensive line, if they could do a pass route and make a pass completion within that, 3 to 5 seconds, 3, 4, 5 second time where you throw the little intermediate. I think a lot of the problem is that
we have too many slow developing routes.
Yeah, yes, you have the long routes, and you just gotta. And again, Cam can get in, he can do his thing, but let's not put him in that position. I think the offensive line could hold true if they only had to hold their block for like 3 to 4 seconds.
And I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. I like his playbook when it comes to the passing game, but I don't see him using a lot of mesh or option routes a lot. Like it's the standard standard seam routes and stuff, but you don't see a lot of option routes where it causes the defense to choose what route to cover.
I won't argue that.
Do you feel that Shannon Dawson is one dimensional when it comes to the passing routes, that he doesn't feel the receivers understand option routes that much? That's why he's eliminating the passing, the usage of mesh and mesh routes or option routes, because the receivers, it's easier for the receivers to understand just the standard pass routes.
I don't know. Now we use a lot of mesh route concepts with Xavier Restrepo. A lot.
No, that's what I'm saying. Only with X we do that. I don't see a lot of that with Zay. I don't see a lot of that with Jacoby and stuff like that.
Maybe that's just their role. Maybe that's just the hierarchy of the receiving group. I don't know.
It's kind of hard to really say they're not running option routes though when you're really just watching it.
The stack route makes it look like an option route because you have a go route on the outside receiver of the stack, then the middle receiver is running like a dig route going to the inside, going to the hash mark, and then you see a deep slant route going to the outside. So it looks like an option route, but it's multiple receivers running different routes on top of each other. That's what's confused. For me, I think that he's using more stack routes and then mesh concepts or traditional option routes. That's what he's doing to confuse the defensive backs and make him choose which route to defend. I think that's what.
Right. I agree. I mean, yeah. But
stacking receivers, I think, actually is more for me. If I was a defensive coordinator, I would rather have the traditional option routes to deal with instead of the stacked receivers, because you can't be having too many defensive backs on one side of the field, because it leaves the other side completely devoid of a defender and stuff like that. I think stacking receivers causes more issues for a defensive coordinator studio and
especially you don't got no lockdown corner on that other end. And that's one of the reasons why we don't run mesh as much, I believe, because mesh usually is for people, not as athletic, maybe got a problem getting off press, so they're trying to give them.
It's more of the traditional big body receivers like the Calvin Johnson, like guys like that, Calvin Johnson or Ridley or something like that. These possession receivers.
Pick your poison.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I like the fact that he's doing that, but I think I noticed that defenses are starting to catch up in defending those stack routes. They're
I'm not so sure about that, buddy, because we still can't be stopped right now. It's just like only Cam stops us, like when he missed throw a pass or something.
Right.
I think Cam is the only quarterback I've seen in college football that could get away with throwing across his body and not throwing an interception. Like that,
even
it's like a Patrick Mahomes thing.
He don't throw too costly.
Yeah, I was gonna say he I mean, it depends, but it's really not something you really want him to have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and you guys agree with me? You see that? That's why I'm saying he has this Patrick Mahomes habit of doing something that a quarterback's coach teaches you not to do and get away with it. Like that's a freakish talent or like an ability to get away with something that you're not supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah, oh, I agree. I mean, Cam he's excellent, but it's really not something you want to rely on, because eventually you got to pay the piper one day. And as you see, sometimes he'll try to do a little bit. You can't be doing that with
Georgia. A better defense is like Georgia.
Right.
Or Oregon.
And again, now we'll cross that road when we get to that, but I think we'll see. All right, so looking at our depth chart according to the official Miami press release, which again is what it is. So really nothing has really changed on the offensive side. I really like to see him get a little more Isaiah Horton involved. Like to see him use a little bit more of the tight ends, of course. Offensive line looks like everything is everything. We'll see. Hopefully we can get that running game going. Hopefully, Miami could hit that, 150-yard rushing mark, you know?
Yeah, and for me, this is where I won't want to see. Like, I understand they're trying to get Cam, possibly get Cam the Heisman, but to me, he doesn't really need to. He wants to prove that he can play the whole season, but to me, this is where these last 3 games, I would rather see the rest of the season and Emory Williams play the rest of the season to see what we got in him. Like,
well, I mean,
that's a football no, bro.
Here's the thing. Here it is. After today, Miami has a bye week next week, and then they have Wake Forest. Oh crap! It's Wake Forest, somebody, and then Syracuse. My mind just went blank.
That's it. Wake Forest and Syracuse.
That's it. Okay. This is 10. Oh. Yeah, these morning games are messing me up, dude. So yeah,
you're so used to night games.
Yeah. But yeah, you got today, bye week, and then you got Wake Forest and Syracuse. Now, because right now, if Miami slips up, then odds are they're probably not going to make it to the championship. But on paper, the schedule is like, you look at the schedule and you're like, yeah, easily. But to sit there and to, take Cam out, I think.
Let me clarify what I meant to say, South Coast. I don't mean take him. He plays this game. This is his last game. And then against Wake Forest and Syracuse, the last 2 games is what.
That'd be utter disrespect.
And
football guards will strike you down.
Yeah, because the Heisman race. I have to say with the Heisman race now. Hopefully,
he's already sealed it up to me.
Hopefully, they can come out and get a big enough lead to where you can put Cam on the bench for like the last quarter and a half. Have him sit for the last quarter. And then let Emory get there and get him some time in the game.
And you know how much bulletin board material that'll bring them? You know how they already play Super Bowl games against us. Do you want them to put up in their locker room? Miami said they don't even need they starting quarterback against us. Straight disrespect.
What's up, Mr. Overdose?
But now, do you understand? Do you understand why?
I understand your concept. Well, this is what I'll do. Based on your concept, I have a game plan. Say, all right, Cam, we're going to try to go up 21, 28, 3 scores, and then I'm going to sit you. But I ain't going to sit them before the game starts.
Right, because this is kind of an anomaly year that we as Miami fans.
You look like an idiot if the quarterback come in. Let's say Emory come in, throw a pick, all of a sudden they up, and all of a sudden, shoot Cam back up. You'll look like an idiot.
Well, if it wasn't for the Heisman hype, because we haven't seen any Heisman hype for a
Miami quarterback
time,
since Ken Dorsey.
A long time. And I think really it depends on what the priority is with the coaching staff, and that, one, you don't want to risk injury if it's not necessary. But 2, you don't want to penalize Cam. If he can get, postseason awards, but the whole thing is, the goal is to win the ACC, get to the playoffs. No,
my line of thinking my line of thinking, South Coast, is they talked to Cam already, and he understands why they're doing it and stuff like that. So ahead of time, they're saying, we feel that you already sealed. You don't need to prove anything the last 2 games, so we're gonna let Emory take the last 2 games.
I understand your point. You could do it, but you don't want Cam to get rusty. And what I mean is, you kind of want to keep him going, because, and here's the thing, we got the bye week next week, and then you got Wake Forest, Syracuse, And then
the ACC championship.
It's the ACC championship is the week after the Syracuse game, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you got a bye week and then you got to play 3 weeks in a row. All right. And then if Miami maintains their number 3, I believe it is in the playoff right now, if they go into the playoffs as number 3, hell, they don't play for another 3 weeks or so. You see what I'm getting at? So
do you feel my idea is crazy? What my concept is crazy?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's crazy. I'm really not, because I guess it's a team by team basis, you know. But as far as Miami, just let it ride. But I would like
see what
to
you're
have,
saying, Studio. That would give bulletin board material to Wake Forest and Syracuse
too.
But
we don't respect them enough to have our starter play against them.
Yeah, your concept is not crazy, but sitting him for 2 games, that's crazy.
You know, and the thing is, if I would like I said, I would rather the team be up by like 30 points
by the
today.
End of the second half.
First
half, I mean.
Third quarter, to where, you know, okay, we can let Emory get some play time. Let everybody. Then this is how it should be going. But yeah, I would rather say for the last 2 games, I would rather see Miami, the defense, dominate Wake Forest and Syracuse, let Miami have about a 30-point lead to where you can put those starters on the bench
and rest them
and keep them from getting hurt. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit that ACC championship game, then you just gotta, you know, it's balls to the walls. You got to get it. Okay. But yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about, you know, just letting him sit on the bench for those 2 games though.
Yeah, no, I should have clarified what I was saying. I don't mean, like you said, have Miami get up by 20 to 30 points by the end of the first half, and then have Emory Williams play the last 2 quarters.
I mean, I can say that. I'll agree with that.
We haven't done that yet. Yeah.
Right.
Even when we was up 60-0 against Ball State, we didn't do that.
Right. I can see that happen. Let him play the first 2 quarters and then bring Emory in the last 2 quarters.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm predicting, like, for these last 3 games, I think Cam is going to be throwing for 500 yards. Again, these defenses are suspect. Georgia Tech's defense is...
Oh, I already had it ready and didn't text it.
But yeah, I mean, but again, you know, that's good conversation. That's good conversation. But right now, I think let's get through Georgia Tech. Okay. But it's a good point. I mean, you bring up a very good point. Be some good talk.
I feel like I'm jumping ahead too fast.
Well, no. I mean, it's good stuff. But again, look, I'd love to start talking about the playoffs, but it's just that's 1 game at a time. On paper, Miami should dominate. So looking at our defense right quick, nothing really crazy going on. I would.
Why they can't listen to Damari Brown? They getting on my nerves with that now.
Yeah. I would really like to see Zaquan get in there. Frederic is in there. He's doing really well. I think I may be jumping the gun, but I think Frederic could be one of the next good ones.
I would like to see Robert Stafford replace Jadis.
Yeah. I'd still like to see what my boy Dylan Dave could do. Little freshman from right down the road from me. I like to see him just getting there, just to see what he looks like. But
how far is that school from you? That
he went to U-High, which is basically the real name is LSU Laboratory School. So it's right there on the campus of LSU.
So it's almost like I can't remember what school was close to, like the high school that basically was like the school that's right next to UF, the high school. that produces all the corners, like Jason Marshall and stuff. Is what you're talking about similar to that, where basically it's that close to the campus, where basically it's just a pipeline?
Well, what it is, and Southern has one also. Southern Lab. It's they call it a laboratory school, but it's on campus. It's a legit, high school.
Is that where Arch went to? That laboratory school that you're next to, right next to LSU?
Who's that?
Arch Manning. Arch.
No, he went to
Episcopal.
No, he went to that Evangel down in New Orleans, that private school. Okay. But basically what it is, the U-High, as it says, or LSU Lab School, and then you have Southern Labs, Southern University Labs. It's basically an on-campus high school for, like the education majors and all that. They kind of, do some stuff in there. So it's
like a junior college
high.
Kind of.
It is, but it's more or less more of a real high school learning for the students at LSU that are in the education department, or Southern that are in the education department, going into their education field, and they'll spend time like doing classrooms. But it like I said, it's just they're on the campus. I mean, it's indirectly.
Do you guys think he's suffering an injury or something? That's why it feels like he's getting burnt.
I don't know. But all I know is, I would love to see some good secondary play. We'll see. We're gonna find out. I mean, because I think Haynes Keene is scheduled to play today. Okay, no, I think it's going to be a game time decision because they're saying King or Pyron.
Yeah, it's. I follow a lot of Georgia Tech people, and they're saying it's still a GTD.
So, I hope. Well, first, no, I don't want to, wish any ill will on anybody, but hopefully Haynes is not ready to go. But we'll see. Real quickly, typical Georgia Tech. I mean, like I said, there's nothing really that stands out. They're just
but they number 44. I love they linebacker, number 44. That boy, dog.
Oh, Kyle Effort.
Yes, goodness.
Ooh,
that's an NFL backer.
That's that. Zeke Biggers. That's the perfect name for a young man, 6'6", 320.
Okay,
tackle, bro. That's perfect, bro.
Hey, scan over our defensive depth chart. I missed that real quick.
It's basically nothing's changed. With the exception of
Anthony Campbell's starting to move up a little bit. He over Justin Scott now. I seen him yesterday.
Well, I hope so.
They need
I hope
to.
So.
He look like he a problem down low.
I mean,
we can play that traditional 4-3 with him.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you guys consider Anthony a traditional NT?
He looked like it's 6'7", 300.
I mean, that's that's a lot of dude, man. But
that's like Calais Campbell. Remember how big Calais? Right. People forget how big Calais Campbell was.
He was.
6'8", 6'9", yeah. He looked like Calais Campbell out there, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was people. I was like, I thought when I first saw him, I said, man, what's that big old ass Campbell?
All right. We're about 10 minutes from kickoff. That's one good thing about the early game. It's going to kick off on time.
How about our special teams? Are you worried about a punter and kicker?
Dude, don't even get me. Look, as far as kicking and punting, with Borgalis and Joyce, I have no concerns. The thing that concerns me about special teams is everybody but the person kicking the ball, especially punt on the punting. It's like every time, or kickoff sometime. If the kickoff is returned or the punt is returned, there's always a penalty on Miami's special teams. Always. You know, especially if well, let me clarify what I just said. If Miami receives the punt, odds are we're going to get a penalty on the return team.
Illegal block in the back.
Something. You know, kickoff. You know, if Miami receives the kickoff, maybe. But mostly punt. The punt team, I think, and if I'm wrong, y'all call me out. But it seems to me that the punt team gets more penalties when they're doing a return than anybody.
And this is a question. Do you think it's because the kids, most of the kids that are playing on special teams are like redshirt players that are trying to prove themselves so they can become a starter? That's why you see a ton of penalties?
It could be. It could be. But again, a lot of these young men have been playing football for a long time. And I know some of them had to be on some type of special team, return team. So I don't know. I really don't know. What's up, Adrian? I don't know.
I'll jump off because I'm going to start watching the game.
Yeah, that's what we're about to do. Real quick, give me your final score prediction, Anthony.
Honestly, I'm gonna say 35-15.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Oh, no, my mistake. 65-15.
No, I haven't heard of 35 in a while, but yeah, I hope the second one's right. All right, there, hey Roo. Tell us what you think's gonna be the
Wait a minute, Anthony. He doubled the score from 35 to 65. It's a hard game to predict the score wise. I say we gotta get in our normal 50s. Been getting in 50s consistently, 40s against good teams.
Well, actually, we've only hit 50 against Louisville and Duke.
And then the rest were like 40s, right? Or more.
We had 39 against Virginia Tech. I think we had 39 on Cal.
And 39 on Florida State.
And 36 on Florida State.
Okay, those are the 30 games. Okay. So is it a 30 games or is it one of those 50 games? I'm going to put it in between. I say we concentrate on run, so it's something like 46 to man, the defense. I want to predict a 10, but I can't. They haven't been showing that they're gonna do that. So I say 46-17.
Okay.
We hold them down 10 points a half, and then they get a late one at the end.
Well, I actually my prediction, my original prediction I came up with this morning was Miami 45-34. They'll cover. But I went back and I did a law of averages, so to speak, on the last 5 games. And Miami has outscored the last 5 opponents by an average score of 43-33. So, I'm like, holy crap.
You're right on the number.
Yeah. But again, just based on what we saw and what we've been through, Jay Active, you're back. Yeah, I think Miami does score at least mid-40s. Okay, at least. I really think they will. And I just hope that the defense comes out and they are able to keep Georgia Tech under 20. But just going by what we've seen, I'm sure Georgia Tech will hit their 30. But I don't think that this, the defense for Georgia Tech, they are a little bit more stout than what we've seen. But
if Haynes can't play, they'll get in their 20s. If he don't play,
I think we'll hold them
to their 10. One last thing before we go, because he mentioned something about what happened last year. Do you think Mario takes this as a revenge game and run it up if he can? They're going to tell you no. They're going to tell you no, but I guarantee you everybody on that coaching staff, everybody on that team, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
want
not
to
saying
see that because they seem like they let Florida State, they let them off the hook a little. So
Israel, what's
I want
up,
to
my
see
man?
that killer. He's stomping his fist on the table, talking about the programs and all that. Let me see you do it for real. I'm the scoreboard's on white end and show me that.
Yeah.
Hitting on the table.
I like Israel. Israel got 52-28. I like that. But if Haynes King plays, it could be interesting
About that score.
If Pyron, if Haynes King plays, I'm sticking with my 45-34 Miami. If the Pyron dude or whatever their backup is, I still say 45, and Georgia Tech doesn't even get past 17 easy. If 14, But again, look, as long at this point in time, man, as long as Miami covers, as long as Miami wins, so be it. So be it. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the on-screen host guests with me, studio and
game 10 after.
About 10, 15 minutes after the game, depending on how things go, how we do it. So yeah, let's get out of here. Everybody go ahead and refill the cup, get some more nacho dip or whatever the hell you're gonna do. Thanks to everybody for coming out. I know it's early. But yeah. Oh, Israel, I am patiently awaiting the next video, sir. But anyway, let's get out of here. Let's have some fun. Let's watch Miami put up some good points. Let's hope the defense dominates. So thank y'all again. Peace, love, and soul. Come back and see us about 10 to 15 minutes after the conclusion of the game for the post game. Should be pretty fun. Bye.